Amy, welcome to Coffee Talk.
Thanks for inviting me, Kevin. This
You're
is
absolutely
cool.
welcome. I can think of no better person to speak to when we talk about arts and live music and things like that. We're going to get to that. My last guest was the two historians, the village historians, and they're telling me about somebody that's related to you that like went down in the harbor here. Who is this?
My dad was a test pilot at Grumman, and
Which is brave in itself. When I hear the word test and pilot, that's bravery.
You know, he was really modest. He would people would call him a hero, and he'd go, I wasn't a hero. I just went down with the plane. Well, he went down with the plane instead of ejecting and running the risk of that plane landing on somebody and killing them. So I was like, well, you really
That's
were a
pretty
hero.
heroic. So he went down in the harbor or
It
outside
was
the harbor?
outside the harbor. It was about 2 miles off Oldfield Point.
What year?
1951, December
Oh
of
my
1951.
And do you know what kind of plane he was driving?
It was the first jet that Grumman built. It was an F-9 Panther.
So again, with the first and all that, he's really the guinea pig. So he goes down, and what happens? He gets rescued?
He got rescued in 8 minutes.
Okay. Faster than some canoers have been rescued.
Amazing. There was a lot of activity surrounding his rescue. There was a woman that he was on the horn with who was the first female air traffic controller in the region who was working out of MacArthur.
Okay.
And she was talking to him. She was on the horn with Coast Guard, which was being launched from Eaton's Neck, and they were also on the horn with Grumman. So there was a commercial pilot, TWA pilot, who was taking off from Hartford, saw a splash in a break in the clouds as he was going over the sound, and says, I see him. So they triangulated, got him in 8 minutes. Grumman sent the goose out and picked him up.
Amazing. And
Took him a year to warm up, he said.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are there pictures that exist of, post at least?
There
rescue?
are a couple of photographs that are going to be in the Grumman exhibit. There's a great picture of Dad all wrapped up in a plane, smiling because he's just delighted to be rescued and still alive.
Yeah, you got some great history there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So again, thanks for coming on and talking about what people may not realize visiting this wonderful building right here when they come on the weekend and they see the live music shows. Of course, right in back of us, where they see in the summer, they see these live music shows. I know I'm a big fan, for example, of one of them, Gene Casey. It's wonderful. It's a breath of fresh air to see live original music. Explain to our audience what your actual role is and the name of your organization, how long you've been doing this, and what people can expect.
The organization that I work for is Greater Port Jefferson Northern Brookhaven Arts Council, which is a mouthful. So most people know us as Port Jeff Arts Council. If you Google Port Jeff Arts Council, you'll find us.
There it is.
Our service area goes down to Route 25 and as far east as William Floyd Parkway and as far west as the Smithtown Stony Brook line. So that is our service area. We do programming in those areas, but because our office is in Port Jeff and we are so lucky to have such a great relationship with the village of Port Jeff, we don't have our own performance and exhibit space the way almost all other arts councils do. So to be able to do presentations and exhibits in this beautiful area is just wonderful.
It's a blessing for everybody involved. So doing this 20-something years at least, or maybe more.
The Arts Council was established in 1986.
Okay.
And it has grown, shrunk, but one of the most notable things that the Arts Council does, and a lot of people don't realize it, is we produce the annual Charles Dickens Festival.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Since
26 years.
Yep. Well, the village had produced the Dickens Festival until about 2005, 2006, and then it's a tremendous amount of work.
Right.
So they reached out to Alan Varela, who's our board chair. At the time, he was the executive director, and they said, sure. So we've been producing it ever since.
That is absolutely perfect. So give us an idea, for example, this weekend, right? What will happen in this building this weekend, live music-wise?
We have a performer who's known in the music circles of the area as somebody who's primarily a hotshot guitarist. His name's Rich Lanahan, and he's got very impressive guitar skills. He plays with Pete Mancini, he plays with the Well Diggers, he plays with a lot of fairly well-known Americana rock bands. But Rich is a terrific songwriter, and he doesn't get a chance to play his own songs. So we're giving him an evening where he's going to be performing his songs. He's going to be accompanied by another multi-instrumentalist who's also a songwriter, but she's got the voice of an angel named Katie Perlman. So they're going to be performing upstairs in this beautiful building.
We're on the second floor now. They're going to be in the third room.
Floor. That room overlooks the harbor. It's just a wonderful place.
And so are tickets sold at here? How do people get in?
It is free admission.
Yeah, that's my point.
How good is that? You can take a chance on something you haven't heard before, and there's no risk. Just come down.
That's really great.
Hang out, maybe have dinner at one of the good restaurants that we have afterwards, because a lot of them do stay open. And we're done by 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's
what an evening, just that alone. Just seeing live music, great talent, and then go eat at a Port Jeff restaurant. You'll have this each and every weekend? Describe to us. I'm going to put the schedule in the background here.
Okay, great. Each week is different. So it's not like you would be coming to see just folk music week after week after week, like some other places do. One of the things that I am just delighted about is the village and the Conservancy are very supportive of letting us kind of stretch our wings and find musicians, artists that do things that are a little bit out of the box. The following week, on January 4th, we have Douglas Baldwin, who does a program called Coyote Loops and Fractals. He has a guitar loops setup.
Really?
So he creates the sounds as you're listening to it, and it gets layered upon layered upon layered. Right. In the background, he's also a fractal artist. So he's created a gallery's worth of fractal images. We made a slideshow of the fractal images, which kind of morph from one into another as he's performing. So it enhances the whole thing. It's very, very cool.
Have you seen this?
I have. It's just exciting. You would think, well, that's weird. I don't know what fractals are. Well, it's the best way to get to understand mathematics, because you're going to have such a good time going to see this. Do a lot of artists come from out of town? Do you have 50-50? I know some are local. You've had people come from out of state to do this series too, right? Yep. Last week we had a ragtime guitarist who came down from Massachusetts to play a live guitar soundtrack to a couple of silent black and white films that I don't think anybody in the audience had seen. It was the 1910 Thomas Edison version of A Christmas Carol, and a 1914 Mack Sennett Charlie Chaplin film called The Fair Exchange. So Glenn played the live soundtrack while we were screening the film.
Such unique stuff.
It is.
What else do you want our audience to know about the Arts Council? How are you funded? What do you reach out for? What do you want people to know?
Like many nonprofits, we're generally working on a shoestring. Yep. So we certainly hope that people will support us either with donations, even though a lot of these things are free. We do put out a donation jar, and we do things like raffles. So if you feel like, okay, I'd like to take a chance on maybe getting some for my money besides just a great day and evening worth of entertainment, we do raffle off things that are useful and fun. We also work with a number of other nonprofits in the area, and one of our good partnerships is with WUSB 90.1 FM, which is the radio station at Stony Brook University. Yep. We do a concert series called Sunday Street Acoustics, curated by Charlie Backfish, who is the on-air personality of the most popular acoustic music radio program on Long Island. So he curates that. We do the production end of it, and we do that quite a bit. That's at least twice a month during the season, and sometimes we'll bring it from the museum at Stony Brook right here to Port Jefferson. We presented Elliot Murphy a couple of months ago, and Elliot was a new inductee in Long Island Music Hall of Fame. So that was a really special evening, a homecoming for Elliot.
Now, your headquarters are right next door.
They are. We share space with the other nonprofits in Port Jefferson, the Explorium, LISIC, Long Island Seaport and Eco Center, and the Conservancy.
Very nice.
Good neighbors.
Good neighbors,
We love our
good
good
president,
neighbors.
good programming director. It's all good. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll get this out. We want people to understand that what an opportunity, like we said, not only the venue, everything works, in this whole thing, to just bring out the best for people that normally wouldn't see this kind of stuff. Great job programming, really. It's really good stuff.
Thank you. And great job in doing this show. This
We're
is
just trying
really
to bring
true.
some things to light.
A lot of people misunderstand. They think, well, Port Jeff is kind of a tourist town. There's an incredible amount of cultural life in this town. We were working really hard to make sure that there's something for everybody here, but you're doing a great job of getting the word out. So thank you so much.
Pieces of the puzzle continue to come together.
That's
Thanks
great.
again. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you at the 4th.
Awesome.
I'll see you there.
Awesome.
Thanks
All right.
again.
Thanks.